Hi, Linda, and anybody else who might be watching this. So Linda had a question about how to set up question sets in Blackboard. That is, groups of questions that are part of a test, but then each student only gets a subset of those questions. So it introduces some randomization. Not every student's getting the same test. The way that you do that in Blackboard is through question sets, but the first part of my answer to Linda is to create pools. So you go to let me hide myself here. You go to your control panel in your course and you're going down to course tools and then test surveys and pools. And you're going to go into the pools area. And what you want to do is really create pools that have your questions organized in them by subject, by category, by title, by chapter, by topic, by week, however you want these to be organized. I like having mine by subject so that I know exactly what is in there. So I have lots of pools with not a ton of questions in each one. So you could build a pool. You can call it whatever you want. We'll call this Katie, oops, sample. That's the only thing that you need to do is give it a title. And then to build questions in your pool, you're creating them, right? So you can go and say, okay, I want to create a true false question. And we'll say, here's a sample question, and we'll keep it true, and we'll hit submit. Okay, so you can go through and create all of your questions. Now I'm only working in the pool so far, nothing yet to do with the test, okay? So I would go in and create all of my questions and create as many pools as I'd like in order to keep them nice and organized, okay? There's the sample that I just created, there's the one question, there's today's date and time. Okay, we're cool so far. So now I've got all my questions organized into pools. I'm going to go and create a test that pulls subsets of these. So I'm going to go to, let's say, I'll create a new content area for this. Let's do, again, Katie sample. And put it up here. So I'm going to, under my assessments button, choose test. We're going to create a new test. We're going to call it Katie sample. Very creative today. And here's where we're going to say reuse questions. If I'm doing create questions, then I'd be creating those questions again from scratch. Don't want to do that. I've already gone through and created all of mine. Reuse questions, question set. That's what I'm looking for. Create question set. Okay, so now it's asking me which questions I want to include in my question set. Okay, I can include, it'll pull it up by pool here. So there's my 12 accessibility questions. If I wanted to test them on accessibility, I'm going to choose all of those 12, let's say. I've got a submit button here somewhere. Okay, so notice here that it says total questions in the set, 12, number of questions to display. That's how many questions your students are getting. So here's where, okay, maybe there's 12 possible questions. I want students to get three on accessibility, and then we submit that. Okay, I can see if I expand here, I can see how many questions, I can see the possible questions that students might be getting. Those are the 12 possibilities, but they're only getting 3 of those, which is why 3 times 10 points each, we're looking at a 30-point quiz so far. Okay, I can do that again. So I'm going to say reuse questions, create another question set. I'll check another topic here, so find another pool. Now we'll do, that was accessibility, we'll do our, I don't know, color theory. Okay, so there are 7 questions in this one. I'm going to take all of them, I'm going to submit that. And by default it says to display 1. No, guess what? I'm going to give them 3 of these as well. So you see how it works? I've got question sets dedicated to specific pools, which are dedicated to specific topics. So I know students are getting 3 questions on accessibility, 3 questions on color theory, things like this, okay? And then, by the way, you can select all, give them a 1 point each, update it here, and now my 6 questions total are each worth 1 point each, so that's a 6-point quiz. Okay, so Linda, hopefully that helps. Hopefully it helps other people out there too. That's creating a, oops, we haven't deployed it yet. So one more step. I created my quiz. I'm going to deploy it, so I'm adding it to my sample page here. You know all the test options. I'm not going to go through these because that's the same as the other tests that you've been giving. But I just want to get, there we go. So there's the link to the test, which includes question sets. Hopefully that answered your question. Where am I? Here I am. Let me know if you need more on that. Thanks.